Alright, we're going to be watching Jarv, who's playing Sigma. This is Platinum 4, and it is on PC on Esperanca. I started playing Overwatch about 7 months ago, and was the first time learning keyboard and mouse. I have about 350 hours, approximately 80% on tank, playing mostly Sigma and Junker Queen, and currently learning Monkey and Diva. I mostly duo queue with my friend of similar experience and rank, who mains Tracer and Soldier. Would be helpful to get tips on playing around low heals as a poke tank that capitalizes on drawn-out / attrition-based fights. 2. Playing around overly aggressive teammates who either position too far forward, at least from my POV, or rush into fights too quickly, which obviously isn't ideal for Sigma. 3. Building better habits with using Rock, and specifically in the Reinhardt matchup where it struggles to find consistent value. Okay, so, I've seen this game. We're going to do something a little different. So, you gave me a bunch of codes, and one of the codes, this one in particular, you said, quote-unquote, no healing support. So this was one that you said no healing support. I think the second one you said very little healing compared to the opposing team. And you're definitely holding this up like this is a problem, right? Like, of course it is. I'm getting way less healing, or my team is way less healing than the opposing team. That must be why we're losing. A few interesting notes. First of all, this game is extremely close. It comes down to the very last fight. If you'd won the fight, you would have won the game. So the game is not like, despite what you perceive as no healing, you still nearly won the game. So I think healing correlates less with winning than you think it does. A. B is that Sigma in particular does not lead to a lot of healing because he doesn't take a lot of damage. Like if you're playing Reinhardt or Orisa or Zarya even, yeah, you're gonna, like, a lot of healing is gonna get pumped into you. But as Sigma, the whole point of playing Sigma is I don't need as much healing as other tanks, and still I can do my job effectively. In fact, the last review I did, I think, was one where somebody was playing Orisa against Sigma on Circuit Royale, and they could not get past like the first corner, right? Like they got full held. I actually did a review. Did a text response, but you can check my comment history on Reddit if you want to see it. But that Orisa was like, I literally can't get past the first corner. We got totally held for 4 minutes. And I talked through why that was the case. Like, why is Sigma so strong in Circuit Royale? Why is Orisa so bad against Sigma? Why, without healing, you couldn't go in? And even when the Orisa got more healing, like when they switched from like Weaver or Moira, they still weren't able to make any progress. So, I don't think you should fixate on, hey, what are the numbers, right? I would pay way less attention to the scoreboard. I think the scoreboard is honestly very, very, very misleading. And this is what review is for, where we look at your game and we think, okay, was healing actually a problem? Because that's the perspective that we should look at it is, was healing, the lack of healing, actually a reason that I died? And now, even if it was, like if you're queuing with random supports, you can't control that anyway. But at least it's helpful to understand, okay, maybe I need to slow down, maybe I need to speed up, maybe I need to be more conservative with my cooldowns, whatever it ends up being. So we're going to watch this replay through twice. Okay? The first time we're going to skip through very, very quickly, and we're just going to see, hey, did healing or not healing, specifically the lack of healing, change how the fight would have played out? Okay? That's the first pass through, and we're going to skip through and just focus on that piece. The second time we go through, we're going to watch through and do the normal talk through for, like, what could you have done better? And we're going to do a little bit of that on the first try, too, of course. Okay. So we're coming out here, nothing super exciting. You're going to take the angle here. I'm actually going to turn the sound down. I know in the review it's not going to, or the video it's not going to be that loud, but it's still pretty loud for me. Like, it's totally fine if I was playing the game, but like if I'm trying to talk over it, it's distracting. Okay, so you're playing way too far up here. Again, Sigma, an attrition tank, you really want the fight to go longer, but you're taking a ton of damage, already forced Grasp out. But applying damage, right? You're definitely getting healed, right? You're back up to 600 health, right? Grasp, healing, whatever ends up happening. I think your warrior's basically playing on top of you. Right? Things are good. We're winning the fight. Okay, excellent. Right? Nothing super exciting here. Just poking, poke, 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 poke. And now they've gone Rein. We're backing up here, giving us some space. I would note that this Rein is currently creating space, right? By walking forwards, he's zoning you and the Ashe out. This is resulting in that your Tracer. So what the Rein is doing is he is cutting off, right, this space so that and taking it for his team. This allows his team from here to then collapse on top of your two people because you are all the way off screen getting zoned out by the Rein. Now, this is normal in the Sigma versus Rein matchup. I'm not saying you necessarily could have played that far up. I'm just pointing out that like the enemy Rein is doing the right thing here, which is pushing you back to allow his team to go after the backline. Now, Rein's not getting enough healing. He turns his back on way too long, right? Gets rocked, right? Nearly gets killed here. You honestly should have killed him right there. I don't know why you ran away from him. He has like 1 health. And your Moira's going to die right now. So let's look, because your Moira is a primary form of healing, because Yari is playing on high ground, which I think is totally fair. So why does the Moira die? So let's back up here. So previously, you guys were playing up in the choke. It's very normal to play up here. You're backing up because, hey, look, there's a Rein, which is understandable. Moira's playing out here. She throws a damage orb, right? Still being regular. I don't know what she's healing for, but again, people are going to make mistakes. So Tracer's going to put a little bit of damage on her. Tracer does some more damage to her. She's at 137. Tracer rewinds, and she's like, okay, I'm fine now, and she's going to throw a damage round. This is a mistake. She should have thrown Healing Orb to save herself, or to get herself higher up, and then Tracer's going to one-clip her here. Now, she's obviously at 100, but, like, it's still not the easiest kill in the world. I want to show you from the Tracer perspective, just noting here, right? She goes after the Moira, gets low, and she's in a position where she's now between 1, 2, 3, 4 heroes right now is where this Tracer is, and she has no rewind and, like, what, one blink? One blink here. And she's going to finish off the Moira, and she nearly dies right now, and then she manages to get away and survive. This is pretty unusual, okay? The Tracer rewound into place, and I don't, the Moira's not tracking that as, like, where the Tracer's going to be 3 seconds ago. Like, I know from game sense that she's going to be somewhere around here, but the Moira clearly thinks she's going to rewind, like, all the way back here, which is why the Moira stops dodging, which allows the Tracer to then one-clip her and then get away. But then nobody does this little chip damage to kill the Tracer, right? Your Tracer tries to get it, can't quite get it, right? And then the Tracer lives. So, did your Moira make a mistake? Yeah, definitely. But was it an understandable mistake for low plat? I think so. Like, it's not like your Moira just fed herself, like, walked into the enemy team and died, right? She was fighting the duel with the Tracer in a 2v1, right, with her Tracer. They forced out rewind, and the Moira was like, hey, I'm probably safe here, and threw a damage orb. A mistake? Yes, but an understandable mistake. So I don't look at this as like, oh god, like, I'm not getting any healing. Your Yari, for the record, is high ground right now, but you're already down one, so, like, it is what it is. Just back out of this fight. That's fine, right? So would healing change this? I don't think so. I mean, again, you were down a player, right? Even the Moira lived, but you traded a DPS, I think you're still going to lose this fight. Okay, coming forwards. All right, trying to go apply a little damage here. I'm just, again, skipping forwards. All right, so you're going to go up, and you're going to get this Rein low, right? Very, very low. Right, zone of healing. Nano gets popped, right? So we attack a little bit. I think you're getting super low, right? You get him low now. Moira's trying to heal you. You saw that heal on the left. The Moira is trying to heal you right now, right? So you break LOS. Now, to be fair, I think the Moira should have been on the right, but, like, I understand. Like, this is, like, she's going to break LOS just briefly. Comes over, starts healing you, okay? And then she pops Coalescence, and you die through it. So look, you're being healed, like, basically the whole time. Like, yeah, she misses a little bit there, but she's healing you the whole time and pops Coalescence when she's like, oh, shoot, you're going to die. Why do you die here? Well, you die here. I mean, we'll cover this later, but you take way too much damage here trying to face tank the Rein for no reason. Nano gets popped, which catches you off guard. And then even here, right now, you could have just popped Flux and then lifted the Rein and been golden and kept this fight going, right? You just don't Flux here, and then you die. I don't know what you're expecting out of your support here in the situation where the Moira is basically healing you non-stop, right? Doesn't have orb right now, and then notices, hey, look, you're at 100-ish health, pops Coalescence to try to save you, but you just die because there's a nanoed Rein swinging on you. This is not a problem with healing, right? Like, you had a lot of options here to play this differently to not die. You're trying to play Sigma way too brawly here, and we're going to see that pretty regularly. You're trying to play way too brawly here, and as a result, you're getting punished for it. Your supports can only do so much to save you. Okay, so, going forwards. So, you go top right here, which is okay. I think you're going to attack these guys on the left, and then I think you're going to get one kill there. You're going to Flux kill another. Okay, great. So, I think things are going to roll here. Yeah, this fight's won. Okay, we're moving forwards. In good shape. So, you're going to off-angle here, right? Which is not so good. Sigma is not an off-angler. This is not Overwatch 1. You're not an off-angler. Like, you need to be the one controlling the enemy brawl tank. Okay? You need to be controlling, keeping the brawl tank, generally speaking, in front of you, and then looking for opportunities to damage the backline. The problem is, let's say you go over here and you're attacking the backline, but the thing is, they pour resources into the Rein, and the Rein charges forward, he's going to zone your whole team. And you can't actually kill people consistently. And I'm not saying you can never do this, but as a general rule, I would try to stay between the Rein and your team to make yourself the focus of attention. So what's going to happen is they apply a lot of pressure. Notice that you're doing, like, literally nothing right now. And when I say literally nothing, I mean you're doing literally nothing. Like, see? Literally nothing is happening that you are of any mean value. Your Ashes already died, which means this fight's basically over, right? You only have a 25% chance to win. They ignore you, and they keep pushing forwards, right? And then, like, they're over here, and they're chasing with Coalescence, and they kill your Moira. So what is supposed to happen differently here? And now you're being, 1v3'd over here by the Mega. I think you're going to actually survive out of this because your Tracer comes to help you out. But, like, I don't really know what was the healing that you would have expected here that would have changed anything. You know what I mean? Like, the reason you lost is because their team pushed into your two people over here, forced them back, and then killed both of them, while you just stood there on the side and watched. Alright, so you're going to escape for a while, but you should have just died because that you're actually staggering yourself, because you think you can get away here, but you cannot in fact get away here. Right? You pop grass because you're panicking, Ryan's going to walk into you and you're going to die. Again, this is not a situation where healing's going to make a difference. Like, you're way out of position and most of your team is dead. There's no point to be fighting right now. You should have just died like 20, 30 seconds ago when the rest of your team died. This is a good example of why if you stay between the enemy Brawl Tank and your team, you can help zone that, and if like they kill you, the fight's over anyway. And you can help keep teammates alive. Alright, so we're going back over here. I'm going to do some spamming. So, your Moira's going to die here, but let's kind of pay attention to what's happening. So Moira dies behind you, and you're like, oh, what the heck? And again, Moira is your primary, she's playing main healer in this situation. So what happens to your Moira? Is it because she's not playing with you? Is it because she's making a ton of mistakes? Well, she's over here, right, trying to heal. That's fine. She's playing on top of you, right? She's clearly, like, on top of you, just being regular, like, throws damage orb. Tracer's on her flank, right, does a ton of damage. The shot from Tracer forces her to turn, which means she's not looking forwards, which means she gets hit by the Fire Strike. This is perfectly understandable. Even at higher ranks, this stuff happens, right? She's like playing on top of you, everything is good, right? Looks, that's Tracer briefly, and then eats a Fire Strike, and now she's low, and she's like, oh god. And she gets low again, and this Fire Strike's gonna kill her. She fades. This is the correct call. Now, the Moira has two choices. She can either fade further away, in which case the Tracer's gonna chase her and kill her, right? Or this way, in which case she's way out of the fight, or she can try to stay and hopefully get an orb and stay alive. So she chooses to stay. This is an understandable situation right now for her to try to stay. But she stays here, and you are doing absolutely nothing to zone the Tracer, and then she gets killed. And then the Ashe kills her. So even then, like, your Moira died, but traded out because the Tracer had to commit there for the kill. But you could have stopped this by just attacking the Tracer. You're not attacking at all because you're looking forward, but like your attacks right now aren't doing anything. There's a vulnerable Tracer right here, and it's not like you haven't gotten kills on her in the past already. Like, this is all you. The Moira is in position, but you're just not doing anything to help peel for her in a very easy situation. I can understand the Rein is in your face. Yeah, you're not thinking about the Tracer, okay? But like in this situation, there's no pressure on the Rein. Rein's just pushing the cart. So 100%, I would say, like, you could have done something about that. All right. So, despite the fact that you know your Moira is dead, okay, and you know, hey, look, I'm an Attrition tank, I just gotta wear them down over time, right? Your Tracer's on their flank, just play it slow. You keep trading hits with this. Like, every time you trade your attacks, like, the Rein's also getting a swing in, which is not good. You have range, he doesn't, so he's constantly applying damage. You also don't have a main healer, and he does, right? He has his Moira, you don't, so you're losing the Attrition battle. Rein pushes into you, and he just kills you. So, like, what exactly is supposed to happen here, right? It's like, yeah, she's trying to heal you. Like, even if the heal was on target, and granted she's definitely having trouble with the heal, but like, even if the heal is on target, you still die here. Even if she pops, like, Coalescence, you probably die here. So, yeah, I mean, like, I think this is continually demonstrating, like, you are just being way too aggressive on Sigma when it's not called for. And you guys win this fight. Yeah, you win this fight. So we're gonna skip through. He wins more fights. Again, like, clearly if you're winning the fights, the healing is not a problem, right? So, like, there's no point in us watching fights that you win to see if healing is a problem. So, you win some more fights, right? You keep winning, keep pushing, keep winning, keep pushing, keep winning. Alright, now. So, this fight we actually end up losing, okay? So, you waste this Flux. You really should have gotten the kill there, but, so be it. Right? Start pushing, your Tracer's gonna die, right? If Tracer dies, so it is what it is. Like, what the heck is gonna happen here? She's trying to get the kill, she gets double headshot. Right, I think she eats, what? She eats a double Cassidy shot, yeah. So you're playing here, you're down one already, so this is either a die and reset, or, like, kite scenario, right? Those are your only two options. If you're gonna kite, you have to make sure you do not die here. But Rein blocks rock, right? Rein blocks rock, he manages to kill your Moira with, Fire Strike. Again, Moira's on top of you. Healing is not a problem here, right? Moira is on top of you. She gets Damage applied from the Tracer on the side, that distracts her. She's super low right now, fades backwards, tries to stay with you to keep you alive, and she dies. I would argue that your supports are doing too much to try to heal you, and that they should play more selfishly, because you don't really have a plan here, right? You're just getting constantly forced back by the Rein, and everybody on the Rein's team is constantly attacking your supports, and as a result, you get burned down. Again, healing is not going to save you in this situation. You're just, like, you either have to give up on the fight quickly, or you have to actually get out a lot sooner, if it's possible, which I don't think it necessarily was. Alright, you guys win all those fights. Now we're in overtime. Pushing forwards. You guys are going to push pretty much all the way to the end. So we're over here, right? Moira's with you. Lucio's with you, right? Everyone's in good shape, right? B gets popped. Alright, we're kind of messing around here for a little bit. Nothing super interesting. You go for the Flux is going to be wasted. Right? Nano goes off, unsurprisingly. You rock him, except Kiriko walks in front, so you get to kill him like Kiriko. Right? You're taking a ton of damage, but you're getting healed, right? Like, you can see your health is going up. You can see the heal spray. You're getting healed. Like, the issue here is not, like, healing. It's just there's a very brawly tank who constantly keeps hitting you. You get out healed, right? You manage to out damage it. Should have killed the Cassidy there. Right? Ana gets killed. Things are looking good. I think you're in a 3-on-2 situation. Right? You eat grenade. Okay, great. You missed the rock. Unfortunate. I think that could have cost you a game. Rein comes back in because, again, they have close spawn advantage. Alright, extremely lucky hack to stop the shatter. The timing of that was insane. Rock goes off. Right? You're getting shot. Trying to stay alive. Right? Getting burned down. You're definitely not getting healed now, so let's kind of figure out, like, what's going on. Oh, right, my Moira died. When did my Moira die? Well, my Moira died all the way back here, right? She's on top of you, applying damage, trying to kill the Ana. Kills the Ana, and she dies really, really quickly. Is this a mistake? Oh yeah, 100% it's a mistake, right? I think this is definitely your Moira playing out of position, but you could have helped her out by redeploying the shield or stepping forwards to apply more pressure to the Cassidy. Like, your Moira is out in front because she wants to confirm the kill on the Ana, which I totally get. You could cut off the angle by walking this way, which helps body block the Moira, and then you can go after the Cassidy as well after that. So you're playing very defensively right now, but your Moira, the problem is your Moira is in a ton of trouble. She gets hit by a grenade, and she gets killed by the Cassidy. So, like, is it a mistake? Yeah, it's a mistake by the Moira, but it's a mistake that you could have prevented by being more aggressive with the fact that you're a tank, and you have a ton of health, and what, you still have Flux, or Grasp you, and you still have Grasp. So, right, and then you ultimately end up losing this fight because you don't have healing, right, or sustain. Not that I think even with the Moira here, I don't think it changes anything about this fight, right? They have like spawn, right? They're all being pocketed by the Ana. You simply like mathematically cannot do enough damage to kill anybody at this point, right? You only do 75 damage a second. Ana heals for 93. Kiriko heals for 75. So it's mathematically impossible for you to kill anybody right now, other than rocking the Tracer and immediately killing her. That is the only scenario that you could win this fight. So even if we gave you infinite health, you're not going to win because I mean. They also can't lose, or you can't lose rather, but like we gave you transcendence level healing for the next 20 seconds, it's not going to change anything, okay? It's just you and the Tracer trying to fight this out. It's not going to, there's no way. Okay, what's the takeaway there? The takeaway is you really have to pay less attention to like overall amounts of healing, right? Overall amounts of healing are not meaningful in many, many case scenarios. It's about, am I getting healed when I need to be healed, and when it would have made a difference, and whether or not I could have done something differently to avoid it needing taking that much damage to begin with. All right? Generally speaking, Sigma is one of the worst tanks in the game at scaling with healing, which means when healing is pumped into Sigma, right? When I say scaling, when you say healing is pumped into a hero, how good do they get with more healing? So who are the kind of the best heroes that scale well with healing? Well, the best heroes that scale well with healing are ones like Zarya, right? Zarya is probably the best hero in the game that scales with healing. High energy Zarya, who is getting healed and like double pocketed, just obliterates everybody because she's incredibly dangerous. Other heroes that scale well with healing, like Reaper or Symmetra at close range, like once you're in position, keeping them alive gives you massive value because they do a ton of damage, right? Reaper is also very brawly and has the ability to also like dodge one-shots, so not that I mean one-shots anymore, but like he scales really well. Heroes that scale really poorly are ones that don't have reliable damage or have low damage in general. So for example, Hanzo doesn't scale well with healing because either he hits his arrows or he doesn't, right? Like yeah, he needs healing sometimes, but I can't pump in, like if a Moira pockets him, it's not going to change how many picks he gets. Like it's very negligible at that point in time, right? Cassie's another one who can scale really well with healing if you're hitting shots. ones that don't have big time reloads, also relevant. Bastion's one, right? He scales well with healing when he's in assault form, obviously, because he can stay alive and burn people down. So Sigma does not scale very well. I actually hate it, generally speaking, when my supports are dumping resources into me, because I ask them, like, look, just stick with the DPS, because I'm fine, right? Between grasp, shield regen, my barrier shield, etc. Like, I'm fine. In fact, I'm a poke hero. I can play even with 300 health for long periods of time without any assistance because of the way that Sigma is designed. And so if you pump healing into me, that's not likely to get us a winning scenario. A good example is when Reinhardt's pushing you down. You giving me more healing is not going to change my ability to win this fight against the Rein. I have to take forever to break his shield. That's just the way the matchup works. So, yeah, overall, don't expect a lot of healing from your team, but also you have the ability, like, you are getting healed, it's just you're making other mistakes that are costing you the game. Okay, I'm gonna drink water and then we're gonna talk through, like, kind of details here. So, for starters, you should use your range, okay? Sigma has 22 meter range for orbs. So, I want you to see just how far that is. That is a crazy distance, right? It's technically a little more with the explosion splash, right? That gives you an extra, what, like 1.5 meters or so? It's a massive difference. So your general goal is you want to stay this distance away from heroes that want to be close to you, right? So the Reinhardts of the world, for example, right? Or the Orisas of the world. Whomever, right? Maybe the Doomfists of the world. Like, Doomfist at this range does 0 damage. So, like, these are the heroes that you want to keep really far away from you. The, Reaper, right? Symmetra, anybody along those lines, you generally want to keep very far away from you when you're in the poke phase. You only advance into closer ranges when you know you're going to win the fight, which is heavily contextual. But as a general rule, you don't want to step up until you're like, yep, I have an advantage, something I can use, I burned out cooldowns, I've gotten them low, whatever, my team is pushing in from the flank, whatever ends up being, then you can go in more aggressively. Because you do the same damage at this distance as you do at this distance, at this distance, at this distance. Now, your accuracy is going to be higher, but against a tank, you're really not going to miss them anyway, so you might as well keep them at long range. So you're pushing this fight right now, like, very aggressively, which is not necessarily a good idea, because if I'm the Orisa, I'm actually thrilled here. But if I'm the Orisa, I also don't pop Fortify here, because what the heck is this Fortify for? Right? There's no real reason for this to happen. But, okay, fine. Right? We're going to push forward. This ends up being an easy wipe because their tank completely misplays this. Right? She used all her cooldowns, which, big mistake. She's going to switch to Reinhardt now. So, my goal here is I need to start attacking as soon as possible. Right? As soon as the Reinhardt's visible, I start attacking, and then I start giving up space. And I do this until, right, I feel comfortable that the shield is going to break and we can take him down, or I feel like we can all swarm in and kill him. For example, if I have, like, a Reaper standing right here, I don't need to keep kiting. I can pretend I'm kiting, and then as he walks out the doorway, then walk forwards along my Reaper. As an example. But in a situation where my heroes are, right, gotta pick a different color. Yari, right, who's a big poke hero, and Ashe, who's a big poke hero, and then Tracer, who is, like, going to be, like, an off-angle flanker in this lineup. She's certainly not going to be diving. Like, this is a situation where what we want here is time. That is the most important thing, is time. And that's what Sigma is so great at, is buying time. You want the enemy team to all walk out here so that your team can ring all these different spots and then blow them up. Because what is the Reinhardt going to do about it? His shield's going to break sooner or later, and then everyone on his team dies. So we're going to see this start playing out pretty soon, right? You see the Yaris over here. So what you want in this situation is you want your Yari to be here, right? The Ashe to be here, Sigma's over here, maybe with your Moira, right? And then Tracer's playing over here. And as they start pushing in, right, Reinhardt with his big shield, you can see that all of these angles can be used to attack them, and that is how you win this fight. Not by trying to end the fight right now, but by trying to win the fight later. That's the general concept of playing, right, in a Sigma versus Reinhardt situation. Now, a follow-up question here that often happens is, what do I do if I don't have space to kite? And I would say, why are you playing Sigma in a situation where you have no space to kite against Rein? So, for example, I commonly talk about Oasis University, right? Oasis University is one of the brawliest maps in the game because of how it's designed, how tight the fights are. Okay, just like sketching Oasis through really quickly. I should change the angle to make this visible. Hopefully this will work. So if you think about Oasis, so points in the middle, right? And then you have the walls over here, and then you have the gap, another gap, and then over here, right? Basically, right, with the high ground out this way, and then you have, you know, one door over here, one door over here, and so forth, right? So the problem with Oasis University is if you're playing Sigma like this, right, and they have a Reinhardt who pushes into you, you have like no space, right? You have to immediately start trying to retreat, and as soon as you go around the corner, the Reinhardt can just hold this corner right here to cap the point, or you can continue following you because you have no space to kite because of how tight the corners are, right? So this is like, I use Oasis University often as a really good example of like a very brawly map. Like dive can work, but brawl is typically what you're going to see played in that situation because of the very, very close corners, and that's not a map where I would personally play Sigma on. Have I seen it done even at higher ranks successfully? Yeah, right? Again, if you're just so good at Sigma, sometimes you can force it even when it's not an advantage, and some people just proportionally are just so much better at certain heroes, that's pretty common, that they can force it even when it's not a good matchup. But your general idea here is, look, we kite for space, right? We get all the angles, and then we win. Like, I feel good about this. I feel like, hey, look, we're going to win. Just be patient. Just keep applying damage down. It is relatively unlucky that your mortar is going to die right now, right? I will say that when you feel the advantage right now, I think you do a good job. You're like, hey, wait. And once you're like, wait, this Reinhardt's clearly not getting healed, and now you apply damage forward or start walking forwards. I would also go for the back line right now. I think it's really important. But again, he shields off. I wouldn't have gone for this rock because at higher ranks, they would 100% block that, but we'll take it. I think you should have killed him right now. So rock, attack, attack. Just stay connected to him right now as he walks backwards, and then attack, attack, and melee. So you see how you kind of pause here? Like, you definitely had time, especially if you walked on top of him, to complete the kill. Because at that point, I'm committed, right? Like, I already walked all the way up there, and I understand, like, look, like, everyone is kind of fighting this, like, really, really hard. I would just commit for this and try to get the kill here, but yeah. From here, your mortar dies, and then, well, like, what are you going to do? Like, you can try to escape if you want, but it's probably end up wasting time. Like, once I saw my mortar died, and I see how low like I am, like my general teams, I'm like, look, I just need to die here. Like, there's no point in me trying to force this out because it's just wasting time, right? The sooner we can get back to a fight, the sooner we can, you know, potentially take the bot back. I don't know that I would use grass for that one orb, but it is okay if you want to, especially when the enemy tank's playing Reinhardt. You don't need it as much, but except to eat grass or fire strikes. But yeah, I'd rather eat a fire strike than a damage orb. So let's kind of see what's happening here. So, quick reminder, how close are we? Is it 22 meters? Is it 17 meters? Is it 15 meters? No, we're like, I don't know, not even 10 meters away from him. We're way too close, right? Just play the long angle. Your job is not, hey, let's walk up and kill this Reinhardt right now. If you want to do that, don't play Sigma. Play any number of brawl tanks that could do that in this possibility. But I look at this Reinhardt not as, oh, this Reinhardt's low, we're going to get the kill. I think, no, wait, his whole team is alive. A support should be able to see him. The Reinhardt's probably not a fool. And even if I do push him, the Reinhardt can just hold the shield and I'm never going to be able to kill him. Right? A Reinhardt of 200 health and a shield is basically still invincible to you because he has 1600 health. Right? Unless you can figure out how to get through the shield and get behind it, you can't rock him, you can't attack him until the whole shield goes down. So I don't look at this Ryan as, oh, he's vulnerable. I think, nope, just keep chipping away, right? Just be patient, play the long game. That's what you need to do, right? Again, your tracer up here, getting work done, just be patient. General rule for Sigma versus Reinhardt. I've talked about this in like a ton of different videos. I'll send you the links for this as well. But general rule for Sigma versus Reinhardt, if you are trading hits with him, like you're trading your hyperspheres for his hammer swings, you're almost always doing something wrong. I would say 90 to 95% of the time you're doing something wrong. It's like if you have a knife and I have a gun and I'm shooting you at the same time you're stabbing me. This is kind of a violent analogy. But if that's happening, something has gone wrong here, right? Because I have a ranged weapon and you don't. So why don't I just shoot you from a range where you can't stab me? You know, like that should be the basic logic here. But you think, nope, I'm a big tanky tank. I'm going to go up here and trade hits. That's not good, and it's not playing to your hero's, like, strengths. You are quite lucky here that the Ana broke LOS here for a while because she's dueling the Tracer. But, like, as soon as she's like, nope, I'm done with him, she comes back in, and then she nanos. Now, to be fair, I think this is a good shield. I think you kind of think that you can pull this off, but like I read this as, especially at higher levels, like people don't really make this mistake. So I never expected this Reinhardt to die. But in the grand scheme of things, this is a huge mistake. I don't think it's a huge mistake. I think it's a minor mistake, right? I think I would have just kept spamming him out, and eventually, like, either the honor would have returned or not, in which case the shield would have broken, and we're good, and we win anyway. But once this happens, right, you got to rock him right away. You rock him right away, and what I'm looking at now is I'm at 132, and I have grass coming up. I need one more hit. Right now, I pop Flux, okay? Because it's still a 5-on-5 situation. I can Flux and completely cancel out Nano. I'm trading Flux for Nano, which is generally an okay trade, but I'm also going to get damage out, and he's low. I'm going to force, basically, I'm stun locking. One way to think about it is I am stunning all 3 of these heroes during this period of time, because the Rein literally can't do anything because of Flux. The Ana is going to nonstop heal him, and the Moira is going to nonstop heal him. So during this period of time, I could then attack, for example, the supports. I could attack the Tracer while he's in the air, and the rest of my team has opportunities. We may not win it, and that's okay. But I still think it's a good trade, because I think if you get any damage into this Moira or this Ana, then your Moira pops Coalescence and then kills them. That's what I'm thinking right now. But instead, you see the nanoed Rein, and you're like, oh god, he's clearly pushing me right now. What's my plan? I could even just keep kiting backwards this way if I really wanted to. Not that, like, I think he's going to charge and kill you eventually. But, like, anything has got to be better than walking back into him and then committing suicide. Like, I have no idea what you're thinking here, other than literally just giving your life up, because there's no win condition when you do this. You know what I mean? Like, you're super low. He's nanoed. He's gonna do like 100 and wait, doesn't damage get buffed recently? Isn't it like 95 now or whatever? But whatever it is, he's gonna do like 135 damage plus the 120 fire strike, basically 250 damage almost instantly right now. Well, and then that's nano boosted, so like what 290, 300 plus damage, like almost instantly. Like, there's no way to survive this. Even Coalescence got popped a second earlier. As long as you fire strike combos and you don't grasp immediately, you still die here, right? Like, all worlds, all paths at this moment in time lead to death, no matter what your team does. But you could have prevented it by trading Flux here, because look, your Yari gets this pick on the Cassidy, right? If you just Flux him, look how low these heroes are, and you didn't even do anything. All you did was die instantly. If you did literally anything here, right? Flux the Rein, right? Apply some damage back here, then everybody dies. That's the kind of mentality you need to have. Is like, look, what am I trading out for what? What's the general Sigma versus Reinhardt matchup, right? Play for time. And if time is not in your favor, don't strongly reconsider playing Sigma. So I'll give you an example here of like what wouldn't make any sense. So generally speaking, Sigma's played with poke lineups, right? So you see Sigma with like an Ashe, right, and let's say a Widow, and if you're playing against a Reinhardt plus like Reaper plus Symmetra, a super close range fight, time is on your side. Okay, all you need to do is stay alive for longer, and your team is going to win because your team does a lot of damage, like accurate long-range damage. And as soon as the shield breaks, their whole team just falls apart. But what's a scenario where this isn't the case? Okay, let's imagine a scenario where, let's say, I'm playing Sigma versus Reinhardt, and then my team is playing something like Tracer and like Reaper. Okay. And the Rein now has the poke advantage. Now he has an Ashe who has a Mercy pocket, right? And then let's say there's also a Yari, and then there's also like a Hanzo. Okay? This time is not on my side, because the longer the fight goes on, the more the space the Rein's going to take, and the more likely it is that someone on their team, someone of the DPS or support, is going to get a pick on my team. And this is a situation where, like, I need to rethink what my plan is, because at Sigma I have to cede space to Rein. I trade space for time. I feel like I'm doing engineering here. I have to trade space in exchange for time, because time is usually on Sigma's side. But if time isn't on your side, you can't, or I would not recommend that you play Sigma, because it's what's your win condition, right? Basically, that somebody has to make major mistakes in order for you to win, and I don't like being in that position. I like to know, look, I know what my win condition is. I'm constantly trying to achieve it, right? And that's the win. All right, so you go over here. I don't know why this Tracer just threw her life away, but like, people make mistakes on both teams, right? Like, this Tracer literally just stares at you. She has rewind and a blink and just stares at you and just straight up dies. She has 100 health right now, right? 84. She could rewind now. She could try to blink backwards or forwards. Any number of options that is not just stand, like run you in a straight line and die. But again, people make mistakes. It happens. All right, we're rolling here. So, as I mentioned earlier, off-angling, generally bad as Sigma. I would just stay with the cart, right? Just stay with the cart, keep attacking, okay? Because again, one of the options here, the Reinhardt could literally just charge up here and mess you up. That is another option here, right? Dive in with the Moira, and then you're in bad shape. Because if even your Moira fades over here to try to help you, you plus Moira is going to lose against Rein plus Moira. Because he's just much brawlier than you are, consistently hits you plus the enemy Moira, like plus the fire strikes. Like all you have is Rock, which is very telegraphed, and beyond that, you do 75 damage a second. And at any moment in time, if he thinks he's going to lose the fight, he can hold his shield and guarantees he cannot lose. Like, Rein can't... Or, let me rephrase it. Sigma has no win condition against a Rein that still has his shield. If he has a healthy shield, he can always hold the shield up, and whatever's going on in the fight, from your perspective, just completely stops. This is why Reinhardt's also good against Zarya, right? Because Zarya's like, oh, I got this big window where I got energy and I got bubbles, but Reinhardt just holds the shield and it's like, yeah, you do 200 damage a second, but I have 1400 health on the shield. Like, it's like irrelevant. Like, okay, wow, you did 1000 damage to the shield, great, now we push through and you lose. So, in general, like, this is not good. You're not putting yourself in a good position. And as I mentioned earlier, what's happening here is that now the Rein is pushing your whole team back. Because your team is preoccupied with the Rein, they do not notice the Tracer here applying damage, right? Tracer lands the stick. Again, the Ashe isn't paying attention because she's focused on the Rein. From the Ashe's perspective, her primary concern is the Reinhardt who's in her face, right? She gets stuck and then she dies. Again, if you're here in the front, this goes differently. I can't promise that you're going to win, but I can promise that it's going to be better than whatever you actually ended up doing, which is literally nothing. The second I see this happening, the Reinhardt running towards my team, I already know I'm going to lose the fight. Because what am I going to do? You know what I mean? Like, I can't reliably kill the backline. Like, Sigma is not a reliable killer by any means, especially any hero that has a defensive cooldown. Like, Zen, yeah, maybe you can kill him. But beyond that, like, your accuracy is not great as Sigma. Like, they're hard to hit. Like, you only have Rock, which is slow and telegraphed. You don't do a lot of damage. As long as any support's healing them, you basically, mathematically cannot kill them. It's not good, right? The Rein goes by me, and he can get kills, and he pressures my team, and I'm doing nothing. And you're rotating, but now it's way too late. You've already lost one, right? You go for the Rock, Reinhardt easily blocks it, and now you're screwed. I would just suicide right now, because there's no win scenario. I already know I've lost my Ashe. Like, the rest of my team may or may not get picked off, but I don't want to be the one stagger, so just walk forward and let them kill you. Right? Go for the Baptiste and just hard commit to it, but almost assuredly you're going to die here. Which is fine, just die. Dying is okay when there is no win condition from your current fight. Because you don't want to stagger longer, like try to stay alive and then die a lot later and not be able to contest. Like, look how long the stagger is. Like, I'm going to show you. At this moment, I'm already like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose this fight. Like, I'm already thinking I messed up. Like, if I was in your position, I think I made a mistake. We're probably going to lose. I should try to accelerate this fight so that we can just lose, like, right now and reset right away. But even then, fine, whatever, okay? We'll play it out a little longer thinking, okay, maybe we could turn this fight around. Once this happens, I suicide, right? I just walk forwards right now into the Rein or whomever, into the Moira first, right? Then the Rein, and I just suicide because it's almost assuredly we're going to lose it from this position. But from now, you are trying to stay alive. At 4-11, you're trying to stay alive, not, for the record, not trying to, so, sense of happening, blah, 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 right? Keep going. All right, where do you actually end up dying? So, 438. So that is a 27-second stagger. Assuming you could die within 5 seconds, that's cost you 22 seconds on the clock that you could have used to take another fight and giving you another chance at the final fight, for example. So that's what's costing you from the stagger. Alright, so back to here. So attacking the Reinhardt here generally makes sense. But when you hear, and audio is really important, when you hear the Tracer, because you can hear the footsteps, you can hear the blinks, when you hear the left, I don't worry about the Rein anymore. Now I focus on the Tracer. Again, I would just easily peel this Tracer, go over here briefly, splash the ground to make sure she leaves this room, and then go back to shooting the Rein. That's the goal right now, because the Tracer is now my priority, not the Reinhardt. Right? The Reinhardt's really far away, not dangerous. Tracer, backline, super dangerous. You could have saved your Moira here very easily by having any audio awareness of what was going on around you. And as a result, you don't have a Moira. So again, from here, I'm like, look, I don't have Moira, that's fine. We're in a well, now I've lost the Ashe as well. We're in a 3v4 situation because we traded the Tracer. Just play slow. All you gotta do is play slow. Just keep spamming them, right? Keep spamming. Like nothing interesting gonna happen. You have respawn advantage because your respawn's much closer. Just play slow. Just play slow. This shield's not doing you anything. Instead of playing this corner right here, just play here. Play the longer angle. That way you don't have to keep getting hit. As a reminder, knife versus gun, right? Why stand in a position where he can hit me? Just play the long angle. Just keep spamming it. I think that's a huge thing. Like trait-wise that you lack by playing Sigma, you aren't nearly patient enough. I feel like the anxiousness from you to try to accelerate the fight, but it's not good, right? It's not good, it is not helpful, right? And you're taking the wrong moments to try to be aggressive. Like they're all full health right now, right? They're full health. Like you got the supports alive. Like they have 2 incredibly brawly supports. You're not winning this fight in the next 5, 10, 20, even 30 seconds. Just back up, keep burning resources from them, farm your ulti, get all 5 together, then we push in again. But you have no win condition right now. So you die, right? Come back out. All right, try to rock them out. So alright, fine. Yeah, I'm just kind of, like, again, like, there's not a whole lot that I can do here until this ends up happening. So, your teammates, right, your Ashe and your Moira get picks. Now you walk forwards. Because now I'm 5-on-3. Now I can even fight toe-to-toe with Ryan if I have to. I read, look, kill feed. Yes, good, we're up 2. Push. Now we push. This is the moment, and now you're walking backwards. So that's, like, the difference between you and a better Sigma is understanding, look, the game state has changed. I was saying patience, patience, patience until you can aggro now. This is your moment in time to be like, oh, wow, we just killed 2 players, go. Now you go. Now you go, now you get aggressive. Because now they have almost no way that they can win this. But instead, you're going backwards, right? But this is wasting time. Push forwards. And because you go backwards right now, that frees up the Cassidy to be like, oh, well, okay, cool. Now, since you're not applying pressure, the Cassidy's like, well, I guess now I'll go shoot these people over here, and now I get to wander over here, and he gets to kill your Tracer with Magnetic. Like, you're doing your teammates no favors by not pushing when you should, and instead pushing when you shouldn't. It's like a very basic tank skill, but you have to be reading that, right? You need to be watching the kill feed. So, let's look at this flux moment, right? As previously mentioned, what is the current state of the game? Well, it was 5-on-3. We've lost 1, so it's currently 4-on-3, and we have respawn advantage, and they're low, right? Juicy hits in the back line. I see that they're low, right? Moira's have half health. Cassidy's nearly dead, and I know my Moira. You can see your Moira through the screen, right? She's alive in their back line, applying damage. So 4v3, and they're low. And my team has a flanker on top of them. Does this look like a situation where I should be popping ulti? No, absolutely not. I don't need ulti right now. Like, this is an easy win. Literally, at this point, you could just walk through the Rhine shield and just kill them. But instead, you pop Flux, and now there is just 1 Reinhardt against 4 people. And you might say, okay, but 2 people died while I was popping it. But again, I would read that as, look, they're low already. My Moira's behind them. They have no win condition. They're just suiciding here, basically, to end the fight because they can't push this cart any further. This is a huge waste of ultimate, right? This is bad, right? And now you don't have ultimate for the next fight. Can't be wasting ultimates. Like the ultimate that we just saw, this ultimate right here, I would say that once you hit lowish diamond, you will never see a tank pop this ever again. Like, you will play hundreds of games and you will never see a tank that pops an ultimate like this again. This is like a very clear, like, you mistimed this ultimate. Like, there's no need for it whatsoever. Alright, continuing forwards. I think your team's kind of rolling here. Mostly. Actually, no. Okay, let's step back and analyze a little bit more. Alright, so we're pushing forwards, try to take space, which is the right call. A note about playing Esperanca. It is very, very common for the when a team is in the lead and they've just lost a fight near the opposing team's spawn, it is very common for them to take the route that starts here and then goes up through here through like what I think of as the U, and they'll try to take this area right here. So don't run this way, go this way, erase these marks. Right? So what I'm saying is, instead of going this way, right? Don't do that. Go this way, and then cut them off here, and make this the choke point you fight at. And I know it's hard because most of the game, it's actually the right call to push this way. This is the correct call for most of the game. But in this situation, I just know from playing Esperanca a lot that teammates will clump up here and they'll try to take the high ground against you. So your goal here is actually to be over here, not over here. And you can see you're not doing anything over here, but it allows your Tracer to get in. From here, I could have deflected the Tracer, understood Tracer's like, oh shoot, Sigma's here, then Tracer goes this way, great. At that point, I can then rotate and come back over here. So you allow your Tracer to get in, gets Moira super low, now your Moira's in a ton of trouble, and then your Moira dies. Again, she's getting focused down from behind here, right? It's really hard. She has no safe spot because you're not actually creating any space. Again, space is the area that your team can safely play in. But you tell me right now, where can your Moira play that is safe? Well, it's obviously not this space, right? Because that's where the Reinhardt is. It's obviously not this space because the enemies can shoot down here, right? And the Tracer can attack. It's obviously not this space because, again, the Tracer is here. It's not here. It's not here. So in this whole area, you are making literally nothing safe, which means the Tracer can do whatever she wants and your Moira has nowhere to fade to. And this is a good reason why, look, if you just zoned out the Tracer first, she would never have tried to go this way, and then she goes this way, and then, you're in a better spot. I can't guarantee that it would play out this way, but I can say is that you have no presence in the field right now, right? No one on the team is afraid of you at this moment in time because you're not doing anything that's stopping or slowing down what the enemy wants to do. They're functionally just ignoring you and killing all your teammates around you. And part of that's positioning, part of that's mechanics, part of that's timing, right? Being the right space at the right spot. Look at this! Your Tracer's just picking apart your Zen in the back. Where are you? Oh, you finally show up now, right? So I think, generally speaking, it's not going very well. They're pushing the bot. Coalescence gets popped. Thankfully, Ashe kills her through it. Good block. Did you block it? Yeah, I think you blocked it. Yeah, good block. Really, really good block there. Right, rock him, right call. Yep, excellent, good kill. Really bad play by him. No reason for him to cross the corner like that. If he just played the corner, he probably wins that fight. But yep, generally, yeah, good mechanics there. I think good shots on the BAP. You waited for him to fall. Right, Moira's over here for some reason. Don't even put your shield out when you don't need to. I think you have a bad habit of oh, I pop shield whenever I see an enemy. The Moira does 50 damage a second or 60 damage, whatever it is now. Forget it, just attack her. Right, don't even waste the shield in case you need the shield for something else. But I would have kept chasing that Moira. You saw and heard her teleport top right. Wasted grasp, something we see a lot. Again, what's the shield for? It doesn't do anything against the Rein. When you start taking damage, then you can start applying the shield if you need to. I do not want to do this. Back to, look, patience. I don't look at this as, yeah, we're going to take this corner right now. In the next 5 seconds, we're going to kill or push back this Rein and do it. This Rein could literally just hold the shield and stand. This Rein could just stand here without a shield. That is how slow this fight's gonna go. The Rein could literally just sit here, stand here, AFK, drink water, look at their phone, then grab the mouse and keyboard again and keep playing like nothing happened. I think you dramatically overestimate how much damage you do and how tanky Reinhardt is, okay? His supports can keep him alive at this corner forever. I do not look at the situation as, oh wow, we're gonna win. And you should know there are supports behind the Rein, because you haven't seen them forever. They're not in some other random place. Almost assuredly, the Moira and or Ana can see this Rein right now. So you stepping forward at this moment in time is a mistake. Just give up the space, right? Trade space for time. Just keep wearing him and his shield down. It is not your job to kill him. This Reinhardt backing up right now is actually a mistake. So ideally, the Moira is over here, right? And you can start, if I was Rein, I would just keep walking into you and be like, okay, cool, let's do this. Right? Because the shield's still super healthy. My team's going to rejoin me in a second. I want to be connected to you the whole way. That way when my team heals me up, then I commit and fight's over. There's nothing you can do to stop me. Right? You have no rock anymore even. I can spend the next 4 seconds walking you down, getting full healed, and the fight's over. Look at this Rein right now. This Rein is okay, he's 2/3 health. I want this Rein, if I'm this Rein, I want to be here, not here. Right? Here, not here. And if he's on top of you, the team just pockets him, and then you die. There's no way for you to do this differently unless you get saved by teammates. Alright, rock the Rein out. I don't know if it's really necessary, but good damage comes out, right? Again, your supports are doing work, right? They're applying a lot of pressure, and it's really hard. That's one of the reasons why the Reinhardt's not pushing you down, is because your supports and DPS are doing a great job applying damage. Okay. let's think about this for a second. So they all just recently died, right? Moira's still dead. Anna's respawning right now. Why am I fluxing this Rhine again? What is my plan? Let's think. What is my plan right now for this Reinhardt? So Reinhardt has 515 health, okay? This flux, not including armor, is going to do 350 damage. So that's going to drop him down to, again, let's not worry about armor too much, about 200-ish health. Then what? Am I going to kill him with 200 health? No. As a reminder, anytime the Reinhardt, in the Reinhardt versus Sigma, anytime the Reinhardt's like, I do not want to die, as long as he has a healthy shield, you cannot kill him. He just holds the shield up, and he has 1,400 more health on command. Right? There's no win. You could drop this Reinhardt to like 50 health, and he's still not going to die here. Unless your Tracer manages to like blink, or Lucio manages to like blink past him to kill him, he's not going to die. Additionally, the Ana's healing him for like 94 health a second. Like, this Reinhardt just isn't going to die. Okay, yeah, great. He got low. There's no reason for him to die right now. He's just going to keep surviving. Now, I will note is he gets lower than I would have expected. But I think a big part of this is the Reinhardt is looking at you instead of looking at the Tracer. So at higher rank, you might think, oh man, we almost got the kill. And like, you know, if I was a little better or whatever, I would die. But if I'm the Reinhardt, the second I get lifted, right? I don't care about you. I immediately turn and look down. Because the Tracer does a ton of damage, right? Tracer's doing like 240, 250 damage per shot. I don't care about you, right? Plus the Lucio does not trivial amounts of damage. He probably does like, what, 100 DPS or so? I'm looking at this. Forget it. I'll eat your damage. Sigma damage is like meaningless against tanks. I look down. I look down right now. I take almost no damage from them instead of getting blown up right now. And then that way I have a lot more health at this moment in time. But with that said, assuming you did pull this off, finish the kill. Again, I'm committed to this right now. I land on the Reinhardt, attack, melee. I don't know why you're rocking, right? There's no need to rock here, right? Rock is easily blocked. Just land on him, on top of him, right? Attack, melee, he dies. But you don't land on top of him. You have just a little bit of a gap. And as a result, right, you're not able to complete the kill here. Right? Now you walk into him, he turns, and now you can't get the kill. And this goes back to, oh yeah, Reinhardt is invincible when he wants to be against Sigma. Because what is your plan now? Nothing. Your plan is nothing. And you lost your Tracer, they have spawn advantage, there's almost no way to win this fight. I would just suicide here. It's okay. It's okay to die here. Right? It's fine. Like, it's not like you didn't, I mean, you did a lot of things wrong, but like, the fight's over. It's okay. Just die quickly, reset again, because you're behind right now, so you don't want to waste time. Right? You need to push it all the way back, so hurry up and die so you can get more fights. Like, imagine if you had, again, 25, 30 more seconds on the clock because you didn't stagger, right? Really about 40 seconds with the 2 staggers. So you push this way all by yourself, which is bonkers. Also, like, no one at this rank apparently has headphones because, oh yeah, I mean, sorry, Sigma does not have footsteps because he floats. So that's unfair, but they should have reacted to the rock. You eat the pulse there, which is very lucky. This is a very awkward position, but somehow you managed to make do of it. But like, quite frankly, you're not doing anything, right? Your team is hard carrying you here. I would say most of this game, like, your team is like actually carrying you. You have relatively little impact for a lot of this game. So we're in overtime right now, which is a bad situation to be playing Sigma on offense. On defense, it's good because you can just lift them off the cart. But on offense is bad because on offense, right, when you're getting pushed by a brawl tank, you need to trade space for time. The problem is you have no space to give because you can only go all the way back to the cart and then it's over. But I would just kite this way, right, the long way away from them, because A, I'm going to be pushing the robot, which is great, and B, what's going to happen here? Let's kind of predict, okay? The Reinhardt's going to come in and he's going to attack the cart. I am going to be going this way, right, along with, you know, the Tracer or whatever. We're going to be going this way. These two are going to be going this way, which is great because then that means everybody can turn around and attack the Reinhardt depending on where the Reinhardt is. This is exactly what Reinhardt doesn't want. He does not want multiple attackers on different angles. He wants all the attackers to be at the same angle, right? That way he can shield them off and stay alive whenever he wants to. But I definitely do not retreat the bridge because bridge is no good. A, you leave the robot, and B, right, like, you're going to cluster up with your team. But shatter goes off. Big shatter by the Reinhardt. Fortunately, like, your team managed to carry. I would note, you're at overtime right now. Where the heck are you going? Right? Where are you going? Like, look at this. Like, you should be the one who's on the cart, right? That frees the soldier, right, and the tracer to leave the cart. Part of the reason they're staying on the cart is because if they did it, you would have lost the game right now, because if the soldier went this way, no one's on the cart, and you lose instantly. Like, I'm sure you could look at this and be like, okay, you probably screwed up here, and you would be correct, right? There's no reason in overtime for you to be going this way as though you're like, oh yeah, let's play for next fight. This game's over if you guys lose this fight. Stay on the cart. You should have been on the cart the whole way. You could have blocked the shadow there, which we've seen you do before, right? Apply damage, rocks, whatever it is, but you end up losing multiple heroes here as a result. Now, fortunately, your Moira is a boss, and somehow manages to kills the Lucio, and then what? Kills the Tracer too? Oh my god, is she gonna kill the Tracer? Oh my god! Okay, so you technically got the final hit, but the Moira did all the work here and probably would have confirmed this kill. Yeah, the Moira was gonna kill this Tracer because she's no blinks and no rewind. So you just luckily got this kill. This Moira hard carried this fight. It's like hard to even imagine how much this is carried, right? Does her best to keep alive, right? Solo, perfect tracking on the Lucio, right? Kills her, right? Healing Orb on herself, duels out the Tracer, pops Coalescence to get the kill. Not that she really needed to, but that's fine. Like, goes after the Ana, right? Stays on the cart, keeps it going. Like, your Moira is carrying you, right? Okay, the Cassie drops. You take a long time to realize that happens. Again, your Moira is just like, hey, hello? Hello? Like, you don't even seem to notice. Like, look, the Cassie's still there. He's still shooting. Stop looking forwards. He's still there. You can hear his footsteps. You can hear the shooting. Turn, turn, turn. You see, if I was the Moira, I'd be so frustrated right now because I'm like, what is my tank doing? Hello? Like, how many shots did Cassidy hit? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then now he fired 4 shots in magnetic, and now you turn. And the first thing you do is you throw rock instead of attacking, which would have instantly killed him. Like, this response time is no good. All right. So now we're here, and I'm going to be perfectly honest, all options here suck. Like, you are very, and this is why, I mention this a lot of my replay reviews, is don't put yourself in a position where the last fight of the game determines winning or losing. Because when it comes down to one fight, just in the same way as poker, if it comes down to one hand, luck plays a disproportionate factor and you're winning or losing. So accrue the advantages over the course of the game such that you have multiple chances to win, not just one. Now, in this situation, you're in a bad spot because you're point blank with the Rhine, which is exactly what we don't want to have happen right now. But fine, right? It is what it is. Now, at this moment in time, Lucio pops beat early, right? Which more or less saves you. Let's think about this right now. I'm fluxing. Why am I fluxing the Rhine? For like the millionth time, the Rhine is going to get healed. And I get it. And you're like, okay, I can flux him, lift him, like maybe get a kill. But again, it's very hard to get kills on him because he puts his shield up. He just won't die. You can see the Kiriko already healing him. You can hear/see the Ana healing him. There's no reason this Reinhardt should die in this situation, right? And get super low. Instead of fluxing the tank over and over and over again, go for the Ana. If you flux the Ana, she dies. Just hit her in the air, she dies instantly, and then deal with the Rhine. You have to stop going for the tank in these situations. And it's funny because the first time we talked about flux, I talked about fluxing the tank. That was very specific to that situation. In general, flux should be used against the backline, not the opposing tank, as a general rule. Right? Nano gets popped, and then now what? Right? You kill, but Nano Rhine in a brawl situation is pretty bad, right? Like, there's not a lot I can do there. Like, if I took over your controls, like, I don't think this is going to be like, oh, I'm going to win this fight. Like, what am I going to do differently? He managed to kill the Rhine, right? Very lucky that he takes this much damage. So the Rhine literally wins this fight if instead of pushing right there, that moment, if he just stood here and held the shield, and he doesn't even need to hold the shield, but if he just stood here and held the shield, he wins. Because his team has spawn advantage, right? His team has spawn advantage, his Ana's still alive, right? He literally just stands here, holds the shield, or just swings right now, and he wins by default. But the Rhine doesn't know what he's doing, because this is low platinum, and people make tons of mistakes. And so you managed to get a kill here out of nothing. There's no way this is going to happen at higher ranks, because they're going to understand, I don't need to do anything here to win. I literally just need to stay alive, and that is the win condition. So Reinhardt gives himself up. We rock out the Cassidy. One thing I would note here is commit. Either I'm like, this rock's going to hit or it's not going to hit. I walk uphill with the rock him, and then go for attack the ground to try to get the insta-kill right now. Right? Because, again, like either this is gonna work or it's not. If it's not gonna work, if the rock misses, for example, this fight's over anyway, because I guarantee you he's gonna kill multiple people, and it's still not gonna charge fast enough to kill me, and I still have shield, so I can put up shield if I really need to block it. So you miss this because your shots, one hits the ridge and bounces away, and the other one is too high. But you should have just straight up killed the Cassidy right now, and you missed that opportunity. So Ana dies. Okay, great. So now we're all purple, but shield's gonna push up, or shield's gonna reset. So we're looking for these hits. Okay, Cassidy goes up to try to attack, and then make a decision. Am I shielding or am I fluxing? Don't do both, right? Just shield. Okay, shield's up, 300 health. Use it. Use the 300 health to kill the Cassidy. This is all mechanics right now. You have 452 health, right? Shield plus your current health. You have 452 health. Can you kill the Cassidy who's being pocketed along with your team or not? If you can't, you're gonna lose anyway. Because again, they have spawn advantage. You have no teammates coming to help you. This is your best moment to win this fight right now. And this is where deathmatching mechanics are all that matters. No amount of game sense, no amount of like game knowledge matter. Just be like, can I kill this Cassidy right now? Yes, no. Because waiting any longer, it reduces your win probability dramatically, right? Popping Grasp here is like, okay, I'll stay alive. But as a reminder, staying alive does not win the fight. Because as soon as the Reinhardt gets here, you lose, right? Now you're going, right? Again, mechanics here are not great, missing a ton of shots, but like now, there's not like, if you replace yourself with like the best Sigma in the world, you're not winning this, right? Like there's just, at this point, like they have spawn advantage, like way too many heroes, right? Tracer has pulse, and it's gonna be over. Okay, so let's pause there. So, in summary, I think the biggest thing for, first of all, Sigma versus Reinhardt, right? I have a ton of resources on it. I'll like send you the general, the gist of things, but I think that you need to trade that space for time, right? Trade space for time. Give up space to gain more time to make the fight take longer, and then play that out. Which goes into the second point, which is patience. You need to have patience and know what is the right timing to start walking forwards versus giving up space. And that's hard. It's not easy skill, but you need to be more patient than you are right now. I think that's like kind of the biggest ever emphasis. There's a lot of little things also that obviously you can work on. We covered those things, but I think those are the two biggest things to take away, right? Number one, trading space for time and understanding that you will win a battle of attrition. Hopefully. Again, if time's not in your favor, don't play Sigma, probably. And number two is being patient. And if you don't want to be patient, don't play Sigma, right? If you want to be like, look, I want to go in, I want to smash faces in and fight and win, play like Orisa, right? Play Junker Queen. Play, Zarya even, right? Where your timing windows are pretty quick, right? Once you start getting some bubbles going, you'd still be a little patient with Zarya, right? Play Winston, play Doomfist, right? There's lots of tanks where you can be very active and have very strong, like, opening punches. Sigma is not them, right? Sigma is the exact opposite end of that spectrum. Sigma is the thinking man's tank. He's the, I will not win now, I will not win 5 seconds from now, I will not win 10 seconds from now, I will not even win 15 seconds from now. But 20 seconds from now, when you're out of ammo, out of cooldowns, out of health, that's when I'll win. And my winning will feel inevitable, right? You are like the Thanos of tanks, right? Don't worry about the initial punch, just kite them out, force out the attrition, get good hits in, and then when you see the moment, then you walk all over them. All right, I'm going to hold there. Hopefully it is helpful.